Hi, my name is Franny and welcome to my knitting vlog or podcast or just YouTube channel. I'm not sure what to call this yet, but I'm going to share some stuff about my knitting journey, my current knitting projects, FOs, and just kind of some general things that I enjoy, like some book chat and also some products or things that have been making me happy lately, and that's kind of the premise of this channel. A couple of facts about my knitting journey is that I've been knitting since I was in high school, so it's been about 15 years and I knit a lot of different things, but I primarily do socks and smaller projects. I don't do a lot of sweaters or garments only because of the time consuming nature of it, and up until recently my job just didn't really allow me to have that much free time. So one of the things that I want to do soon is to actually do a sweater or a cardigan, and in the meantime I'm just kind of doing my normal things, which are socks and shawls, and I do a lot of like animal garments, dog sweaters. So that's kind of my knitting background, and I'm just enjoying my time. I've, gotten a lot of indie yarn within the last year during the pandemic, so I'm exploring that. So I'm just gonna get into my whips right now. I have a couple things on the needles. The first thing is, oh no, okay, the first thing is the Nelta shawl. This is made with Camellia Fiber Co.'s Sylvan fingering weight. It is really plump and soft, and it is a baby alpaca cashmere mix, which I usually don't knit with alpaca because I'm kind of allergic to it, but this is a merino alpaca cashmere mix, I believe, and it has enough of the other fibers where the alpaca just doesn't bother me that much. So I've been knitting with this and I love it. It's a very luxurious experience, and I really like the color. I really like Camellia Fiber Co.'s colorways, and I do want to try more, but this is actually the first yarn that I've purchased from them, so it's so nice to knit with. I want to knit with this yarn again, but maybe try some of their other blends. I know that they have a linen based blend that it's called, I don't remember right now, but they have a linen based blend that's similar to Sylvan, and that's something I want to try next. So that has been going. This is about 3 days worth of work. So it's, yeah, all garter, and then the pattern repeat, it's just a really simple lace detail, but it's a cloud, and they're staggered on the shawl as seen. That one looks a little wonky, but this one looks better. And it's just super pretty and simple, and the yarn really shines with this pattern. It's just the simplicity of the pattern really allows you to see how nice the yarn is, and in person, like, it feels amazing. So that's my first whip. So my second whip is actually it is a My Secret crop top by Jessie May Designs, and this is the third one I've made. I made 2 before this for my sister, both in DK weights, and this is also considered a DK weight, but it's kind of weird because this is a linen viscose cotton mix. It is Sadness Garn Line, and the colorway is Powder Rose. I picked this up when I visited my sister in Texas at McKinney Knittery, and they had, I think they had every color of it there, and I really like their colorways. They have a lot of pastels and kind of softer, more like neutral-ish colors that you can incorporate into your normal wardrobe. So it's also really affordable. I think it was $7 per ball, and I bought 3 for this shirt. So I've been working on this for a while, kind of just on and off whenever I have some spare time. So it's like, it's almost a fit. I still have a way to go, but it's a pretty fast knit because it is a DK, which I really, really like. And I'm getting more into DK weight projects lately, or kind of adapting things for DK weights. So that's kind of where my journey is taking me lately, in terms of the types of yarn I'm using. And then I actually do want to share this really, really adorable stitch marker, or progress marker, and progress markers have been making me knit super fast lately. I wasn't using them like ever before. I just used them as stitch markers, but there's something about seeing my progress like within a day on a project that makes me more excited to work on it the next day, and it just kind of makes the time pass by faster when I'm working on it. So this one is actually from, well, I'll just show it to you. So it's a tiny little lemon with its little leaf and a blossom, and it is the most adorable stitch marker. It's really small. There's my nail for comparison, and I love it. I love the size. I like how small the clasp is, and it is just so adorable. It's really encouraging when I'm working on this. So the next whip I have is this sock, and I actually get the yarn out. So this is a Woolberry yarn. It's a sock yarn, and the color is, I don't know what the color is. I think it might be blueberry something, or I don't remember, but it does look kind of blueberry inspired. And it's just a lavender kind of tonal with speckles. It's actually becoming the lavender field sock by Curious Handmade, and I love this designer's sock patterns. They are just really accessible to beginners who aren't used to knitting socks or not super experienced, because the way that her patterns work is that it's kind of line by line instructions, and you can kind of check off the box as you go, and I just place a post-it on the pattern and kind of keep following it that way. And then she even has like the percentage points of, you know, how much you've done on the pattern, so it's kind of encouraging to have that. And just her patterns are really well made, and her designs are really cute. This has just a simple band of lace for about an inch and a half or 2 inches, and then it just goes straight into the sock, and it's basically a plain vanilla sock. And I really like this combo. This is just some scrap yarn that I had, some sock yarn, and then with that purpley yarn, lavender yarn. And the reason why this sock, this is like 3 days worth of work, the reason why it's so small is because I purchased these 9-inch circulars to try to make a sock with, and I knit continental style. So usually, you know, I hold it like this and just knit, but when I started doing that, I have a tendency to hold my needle like that, and it was really causing cramping and pain. And then even my right hand was kind of like, I was not able to, I tried to just very loosely hold it, and I was still getting finger pain on my left hand. So I decided if I want to use these, I was going to have to figure out a way to not get an injury. So I started practicing English style, and I'm not great at it. I've never liked it, so I never improved, but I forced myself to do this all in English style. And it's been going very slowly, and I did get better at it, and my tension is like okay, but I'm just not that comfortable with it, and I think just 9-inch circulars are not really for me. I know that like when I knit it, I have like almost no pressure, and maybe it is good for my hands because there's like no pressure going on, and I don't hold it this way. I tension it and then I kind of throw it, and then pull back on the yarn itself once I make the stitch. It seems better for my hands, and I do want to get better at it, so in case I do get injuries or pain or soreness from continental style, I can switch off. But right now it's kind of on the back burner because it's not my favorite. So I think I'm going to continue with my easy wins with my like 3x3 ribbing and my Nelta shawl, and then come back to this one a little later. And if you have any tips about knitting with 9-inch circulars continental style, please leave a comment. I would appreciate it, and give me some type of tip because everything I tried wasn't working. So it's English for now with this project. My next whip is, this is the gift sock, also by the same designer who made Nelta. I think it's called the gift sock, but it is basically a ribbed sock. So it's ribbed, and then the rib continues down onto the heel and is part of the heel turn, basically. So I am about to start that portion, but right now it's just the cuff, which is about 1 centimeter. So that's not in the pattern. I just started making this. This yarn is actually from Sunday Fiber Co, and I love this yarn so much. It's like super plump and cozy and comfy, and I was intending to use this yarn with a different pattern. This yarn is from Big Little Yarn Co. I love Melanie's colorways. They're all so pretty, and I think this one is Umeboshi. I'm not 100% sure. I'll double check, and the correct information will be in the description below. But it is super pretty, and I started making this with the 1 centimeter cuff with another pattern that was a lace pattern, and it just didn't. It really took away from the colors of the yarn. So I got rid of it, and I'm using this more basic pattern, and it really shines through a lot better. And I kind of wish that I did a striped sock with this, maybe like 2 rows of the variegated yarn and 2 rows of the solid. But I mean, these socks are for me, for my hiking boots, so I don't care because I enjoy it, and no one's really gonna see them anyway. And just knitting with this yarn makes me really happy because the color changes pretty quickly. About every like 4 inches there's a color change, it seems. At least 4 inches, if not more. So I love this, and it's going pretty quickly, but I just kind of need to strap down. I've looked to other projects recently, but this is about 2 days worth of work, and yeah, it's just really flying by. And a stitch marker by Gabriella Makes, again used as a progress keeper, and it's super cute. My next whip is by, I don't know, it's a basic ribbed hat. I think it's called Head Sock, and my boyfriend loves this hat. I've made maybe 2 of them, and then other various fisherman rib socks. I've made fisherman hats that I think like a total of 3 or 4. So he just likes ribbed beanies. And so this one I'm making, it's the type where it can have a nice big double cuff, so it is pretty long. That's the cuff we're looking at. So I still have a little bit to go. He does have a very large head, so it's gonna, I still need to work on the tube ribbing for a while and then close it up, but it's really cute. And this yarn is from, I think they're called Black Oak Fibers. Again, all the correct information will be below, but it's this super bright acid green, and it's like a nice grassy green. And this is a cashmere blend also, so it's super squishy and soft, and I love knitting this hat. I've been working on this for a really long time now, like maybe 3 or 4 months, but I've just kind of been doing one row here or there. I took this when I was visiting my sister and worked on it at her house, and so I got quite a bit done there, but this is not one of my primary projects. It's just kind of like whenever I feel like it. And then I also have a little Knit Boop stitch marker right there. And this stitch marker is also by Knit Boop, who is, the stitch marker is adorable, and I just love all of the progress markers that they make. They're just so cute. It's a little kind of the most pastel pink possible color. I don't know if it shows up, but it's adorable, and again, it's really inspiring to get work done while using these stitch markers. This is the Wild Beast sock by Curious Handmade. This is the first sock that I made. I used some woolberry fiber yarn, woolberry, I'll just say woolberry. I used some of her yarn. It was a sock set. I think this is White Sands, something Sands National Park. I don't remember. But this was a sock set, and it came with this honey color, and I thought it'd be a really cute honey or bee themed sock. So I made this pattern with it, and I like how subtle the colors are. I was intending to keep this for myself because it's adorable and I love it. But my sister expressed interest, so this is going to my sister now. And I am working on the second sock now. And these I'm just using my basic DPNs, just wooden DPNs to work on it. I think the only method, I don't like Magic Loop and I don't like the 9-inch circulars, but I do like DPNs, and I've been using the Addi Flexi Flips and there's the other brand, the Hi Sharp, basically their version of Flexi Flips. So those 3 flexible needles. That's my favorite way, but I really am comfortable with DPNs also. So this one I'm doing on DPNs, and I need to get through this because I still need 2 repeats of the pattern before I hit the heel flap. And yeah, it's taking a while because I just have so many things on the needles, which I don't generally do, but for some reason I've been doing that. I've been really focused with my knitting lately, so I guess I've just started casting things on. And this is another Gabriella Makes stitch marker, which is very cute. Kind of big for this project, this progress marker, but it's cute. So that is my last whip, and this is the time for FOs, but I have no FOs because I have only whips. So for the meantime, I don't have anything to show you. Next time, hopefully I'll be done with something, even a sock set. So we'll see how that goes. Okay, break time's done. So I want to go over some upcoming project plans, and I actually have everything in my trusty little picnic basket. I will go over acquisitions after I'm done with this, but I have my basket full of yarn and I have some projects I want to work on. These are the Hi Sharps. They are the Hi Flyers that I mentioned. So I got these because I have a bunch of sock yarn and I do want to start working on some things. So the first thing I do want to work on is, I don't know where the matching color is. This is some sock yarn from the Farmer's Daughter Fibers, and I'm intending to use a pattern from Summerlee knits to make with this. I think it might be the Little Boxes sock or something from her recent lace pattern set that she released, and I have that. I bought it. So I think these are gonna be my next sock. I also have this sock yarn. This is also from Farmer's Daughter, and I have it. This is some leftover Sunday Fiber Yarn Co. I was intending to pair these together and also make specifically one of her lacy socks with this. Then I have a kind of old magazine. It's called Nomadic Knits, and my sister got this for me. This was issue 3. She got it for me a couple years ago. I don't even know how old it is, but there is a sock here that I want to make, and I'm intending to use some yarn I have in this basket. It's this. So there's like kind of different there's different colors going on there. So I have some various yarn that I'm going to use. So like these blue tones, this tan, oops, and then this purplish variegated sock yarn. And these are all from different places. This one is Lang, the small one. This one's Farmer's Daughter. This one is from Gabriella Makes. And then this one is from 6 and 7 Fibers. This was the Harry Potter line that I got like quite a while ago, and I just haven't used it. So I think I'm going to make that. That's what I intend to do with that sock. I don't know if that'll change at some point, but that's what I have it here for. And then I also brought other options in case I want to change the color palette a bit, and there are some purples where I can mix, obviously, like that's a purple style, and then have a contrast, either one of these that's low contrast or a higher contrast like that. That would work too, so that's why I have them. But actually, I have extra, a lot extra in my kind of like next to do basket, because I got, and this, I'll go over some recent acquisitions, the Lane 52 Weeks of Socks book, and I had been waiting for this for a while. I pre-ordered it from somewhere because it was back when the paperback was announced, but I guess it didn't come out yet. So I just got it and I love it. It is beautiful. It's just, the pictures are so gorgeous. There's so many socks. Don't want to show the chart, but the photography in here is really gorgeous. You can see some of it here. I'm trying to not show it, but it's gorgeous, and it is there are a bunch of socks. So I brought a bunch of sock yarn with me to put in this basket, and those are my plans for that. So I really love my Jessie Maed project right now, and I procured more DK weight. So that's what I have in this basket. This is from the Suburban Stitcher. It is a DK weight. It's called Sea Smoke. And then this is from Woolberry Fiber Co., another one. And this is the Berry Cashmere DK, which is a merino cashmere nylon blend. So both of these I'm intending to make either into little summer crop tops or ripple bralettes or the ripple camisole. I'm not sure yet, but I know that they are going to become kind of like, excuse me, tank top style things. And I know for my size, it's either going to be quite short. So if I want to lengthen it, I'm going to do the ribbing, the edge ribbing and straps in a different color. So these are the colors that I picked to do that with. The green, I'm not sure I like it with both of them, the green. So these are just some leftover DKs I had. And then I have this kind of glacier blue, and I think that would look really nice with the sea smoke. But I also just love chartreuse, and that looks really nice also. So I haven't decided yet, but those are in my basket for that particular project intention. And that is all that's in my basket. So, oh wait, this is some Olin sock yarn, and this is, I am absolutely making something from the 52 weeks of socks with this. So I just kind of have all of these projects lined up right now, and there's a lot on my mind in terms of what I'm going to pick to do, and there's a lot to do, and then there's a lot of whips to finish. These aren't even all of my whips. I have like 2 more that are just completely on the back burner, and they're not with me right now. So this is what I'm going to be working on in the near future anyway, so I thought I'd share those. So yeah, like I mentioned, I have 52 weeks of socks. Oh, by the way, this is my recent acquisition section. So I'm going to talk about some little doodads I got. And the first thing is, yeah, the 52 weeks of socks, which is gorgeous as previously stated. And I love knitting socks. They're gorgeous. They have some amazing designers in here. For sure, I'm going to make the Vervain or Vervain, I don't know, sock right here. And it has a lacy panel, like it's just one yarn over section and kind of a textural panel with the tiniest hint of lace. And then it's just a vanilla sock otherwise, it seems, and I love it. So that is going to be one of my very first projects for sure from this book. But just every single sock pattern here is gorgeous. This one's called Heartachoke. I really want to make that one also. But it's just, I love this book. It's so pretty. This could just be a coffee table book for non-knitters, or even knitters in your home. Like, this is so pretty. So that was the first thing. The second thing is that I went to a local yarn store recently to pick up a needle for the Nelta shawl. Actually, I needed a 40-inch for that, and they had half off Shibui knits, which I've never purchased because it's pricey for me. It's $18 a hank, and I mean, $18 a hank is pretty affordable if you're talking about sock yarn, like hand painted sock yarn or something. But this is 100% cotton, and it's only 135 yards. So $18 for 135 yards is kind of out of what I'm comfortable paying for something, but it is DK weight, so that's another thing to consider. So in total here, I have about 270 yards, and that, I know that's enough to make a Jessie May crop top, or my secret little crop top from her. So that's what I purchased this for specifically. And I might buy a third. If I want to make a shirt out of one of those or extend it, I might have to go back and get the third one. But right now I'm thinking just 2 should be fine. But yeah, that's a recent acquisition. Oh no, sorry. Another one is Yoth Yarns in Little Brother. It is a merino cashmere nylon fingering weight yarn, and I actually got this on sale also. So this is $30, and I got it on sale for a little over $21. And it's just like, I love this color. Like, I have so many things in my life that are this color of blue, kind of it's not sagey. It's definitely like a really muted dusty turquoise. I guess it's considered, it says it's mint. I don't consider this to be mint really, but it's just, yeah, like a very dusty light blue, and yeah, I love it. So I'm gonna make something with this eventually. I don't know what, but I couldn't pass it up. And then I have 2 sets of Plutolopi. I don't know if that's how you pronounce this. So I have 2 plates of each color of this to make the crystal shawl. These are both going to be gifts for various people in my life that I want to give like a really big thank you for helping me out in like a tough spot. So these, I'm waiting for needles. I just purchased needles to make this shawl. But in the meantime, I've never actually used this yarn for anything, and I've wanted to make something with this yarn for a long time, but I just didn't really have a pattern in mind, and I live in Southern California. I specifically live in Los Angeles, so I just don't have a lot of opportunities to make things with this type of Icelandic yarn that makes sense for me to have here, but they are for 2 people who do appreciate shawls and would use them and are in colder places sometimes. Like one of the people, they live somewhere coastal where it's pretty cold in the mornings, so this will go to her and hopefully she likes that. And then yeah, so they're just the same yarn, 2 different colorways. So that was an acquisition. And then I have one more. My next acquisition and last one is the Outlander knitting book. Because when I was visiting my sister recently, she got me hooked onto Outlander, which I had tried a couple times and didn't like. And when I got past episode 4 to 6, it started getting more interesting. So she really likes the Rent shawl and she likes Claire's knitted stuff. So I was planning on making her a shawl eventually. And she does live somewhere where it does snow in the winter and gets colder. So it does make sense. So yeah, I got this official book and it was half off, which is the reason why I got it, because I really don't need it. But that is in my plans at some point. So my next segment is just some happy things and kind of like miscellaneous stuff that makes me happy. So the first thing is these Japanese they're kind of like aromatherapy eye heat packs, and they're advertised to use before bed or relaxing or when you're traveling or on your commute, planes, trains, whatever. And I used an entire pack of the lavender one, and the last one that I got a migraine the other day that was like pretty bad. I put myself in a dark room, like went under the blankets, and I was just waiting for painkillers to kick in because I do get migraines kind of often. And I decided to use one of these, and I don't know if it was like the heat or the scent, but like it helped cut my migraine down. Usually it lasts for a couple hours, but it only lasted for like an hour and a half this time. So since I used up that pack, I went and got a replacement pack, and I really wanted to try the forest scent. So this is the forest scent. I'm not sure what it smells like yet, but the lavender scent smells just like lavender. It's pretty good. And then I picked up a couple singles that are like chamomile, rose, a couple of different scents. So I can't recommend these more. If you want to relax or kind of have migraines and want to try something else to help you get through them, I'm obviously not a doctor, and I mean it could not do anything, but for me that was just my experience that it was helpful having a heat pack. So yeah, these are, it says Meg Rhythm, I cannot read this, and the brand is Kao, K-A-O. So maybe like if you check online or like a local Japanese market, they might carry them, but I really like these. So this is just like a general life, little things that make me happy in life. And so that's the first one. The second one is I found a new coffee shop and a little bakery. It's called Bonjour Pastry. And my favorite thing from there, like their pound cakes come in these little tiny sizes. So I love it because this is the perfect portion to just have with a milk tea, which I drink milk tea like every day. I'm obsessed with milk tea. Or coffee, which, I mean, I guess I'm caffeine junkie because I drink coffee every day also. So I really like the portion size, and they have just a bunch of little small treats and stuff, and then they packed it up in this really cute box. These are some little shortbreads from there, and they are in Torrance, California. They make really good basic coffee drinks. Like, I really like their iced lattes there, and they have oat milk and soy milk. I'm lactose intolerant, so I always appreciate that. And yeah, it's just like a cute little find close to my boyfriend's house, so it was cool to find that place. And that's about it for my random little happy stuff. I intend to have a little books corner because I'm a reader. Like, I knit and I read. That's what I do with my off time. So I actually am not going to do that today just because I didn't really compile my list in time, but I will do that for the next one. And I'll always keep it at the end in case that's not really anyone else's thing. You could just end it whenever the book corner starts. But for now, that's all I have. So thank you for hanging out with me if you're still here. Thank you for listening to all of my rambling about my knitting projects and little things that make me happy. And I hope to see you again. Please like and subscribe if you want to. You don't have to. But I appreciate you being here. Thank you for sharing my knitting journey with me. Bye.